Television has been the solution for most of our boredom. News channels telling us about the happenings of the world, and TV shows that introduce us to different cultures. At least they try to. But viewing TV also comes with a lot of other invisible side effects that go over our head. Social cognitive theory states that individuals often imitate new behaviors that they witness, and thus might lead one to participate in a more high-risk behavior if they watch more television. Others suggest that media violence and high-risk activities increase psychological arousal, intensifying subsequent behavior such as aggression or risk-taking or impulsivity. From the conclusions drawn by a collective study which has a 5-year time lag, suggests that TV viewing habits remain consistent. But the results also suggest that the 5-year lagged effect of TV viewing on injury was significant and positive in those with high hostility and not significant in those with low hostility. In other words, an increase of TV viewing at year 5 was associated with an increase in risk of injury at year 10. Research done by Huisman and Aron, monitoring children's behavior over a 15-year period, found a positive correlation between the number of hours of violence watched on television by elementary school children and the levels of aggression demonstrated when they were teenagers. Another study conducted by Pike and Comstock found highly significant associations between television violence and aggression. Additionally, the effect of television violence on the antisocial behavior of boys and girls is found to be marginally equal. The content that is viewed is also very important here, based on which the negative emotional responses and aggressive behaviors may be triggered, especially among people with a predisposition towards hostility. A study conducted by Marina Kretschmer and Catherine Green confirmed there is a link between exposure to violent television in the form of violent drama, realistic crime shows, contact sports, and participation in various forms of risk-taking like problem drinking, smoking, drinking and driving, delinquency, reckless driving, and drug use. The amount of time spent watching TV also contributes to physical inactivity and overeating. TV commercials and other shows encourage us to eat more. A study conducted by Jennifer Temple concluded that television watching can disrupt the development of habituation towards eating, which is why people eat more than they need while watching TV. This is also confirmed by researchers in Poland and the Polish Central Statistical Office. The same experiment showed that people who watched television more rarely and drank less sweet drinks during the day were characterized by lower BMI. Although Eric Sigman in his study suggested that health risks are reported to occur beyond exposure of 2 hours of watching TV per day, but the average child is exposed to 3 times that amount. A team in Finland concluded that out of all the sedentary behavior, TV viewing is the most associated with adiposity markers or obesity itself, and a slight deviation from that activity is enough to reduce obesogenic effects of TV viewing. Television viewing is also associated with sleep disorders. A study of 5 to 6-year-old children found that both active TV viewing and background passive TV exposure was related to shorter sleep duration, sleep disorders, and overall sleep disturbances. Moreover, passive exposure to TV for more than 3 hours a day was strongly related to sleep disturbances. Timing of TV viewing is also particularly important. A study done by Abigail Helm shows that children who watch TV after 7 p.m. display more bedtime resistance, more anxiety around sleep, shorter sleep duration, and longer sleep onset compared to children who only watch TV during the day. Her studies concluded that TV viewing affects sleep duration and quality, and daytime naps don't offset those negative impacts. Exposure to blue light in the evening suppresses melatonin. The maximum melatonin suppressing effect is achieved at the shortest wavelength, which is violet in color. Hence, it's advised to view any of your screens in the highest wavelength possible, which are yellow or orangish. Higher binge viewing frequency was associated with a poor sleep quality, increased fatigue, and more symptoms of insomnia, whereas regular TV viewing was not. Depression, social anxiety, and loneliness are also things that are associated with binge watching. In a report published by Azza Abdel Azim Mohammed, showed individuals with binge-watching behavior are more likely to be affected by depression because depression makes people want to escape their current state of frustration and consume more TV to release this pressure. A team from Tohoku University in Japan led by Hikaru Takeuchi imaged 290 brains of children from 5 to 18 years of age, found that the more television these kids watched, the bulkier their brain's hypothalamus, septum, sensory motor area, and visual cortex became. These areas are implicated in multiple processes, including emotional responses, arousal, aggression, and vision, respectively. Testing confirmed that verbal IQ scores, which measures vocabulary and language skills, fell in proportion to the hours of TV the children watched. Previous study confirmed for each additional hour of television watched in childhood, the odds of developing symptoms of depression increased by 8%. The association between binge watching and anxiety has also been studied. Individuals with anxiety tend to relax and pass time by binge watching, and adults with anxiety symptoms are likely to spend more time watching TV than the general population. Loneliness is an inherent negative emotional response resulting from negative external feelings triggered by the environment we place ourselves in. Loneliness is positively related with binge watching because viewers tend to watch more episodes to cope with loneliness. Individuals who depend on using any kind of media to regulate their restless moods might find it difficult to stop using the media. All the negative impacts of watching TV shows, using your devices often, or the indirect impacts of them can be mitigated by spending more time in nature or with close family and friends, enjoying real moments and making real connections.